The United Workers' Party of Dominica recently initiated legal action against the government concerning the country's Citizenship by Investment program. This case has sparked significant debate and controversy in local circles, but it also has implications for the wider Caribbean region. Join us in this video as we explore the intricacies of this innovative lawsuit and discover its links to other initiatives across the Caribbean. Let's dive in. The lawsuit. The UWP, led by President Lennox Linton, has filed a lawsuit seeking to compel the government to disclose the contents of its contracts with CBI agents. The legal action aims to shed light on the financial operations of Dominica's CBI program, examine the program's terms and conditions for potential favoritism, corruption, or mismanagement, and challenge certain agency relationships.
We advocated long and we advocated hard, inside and outside of Parliament, for remedial action in the public interest. We advocated for obedience to the constitutional rule of law, for honesty, for transparency and accountability in the operations of the CBI program. All we wanted to do was to protect the integrity of the program and to ensure that the lofty national development goals for which it came into existence were fulfilled. The government never listened. So this has been quite a journey for us in the past 5 years, having taken the decision that we're going to go to court with this. We have received opinions and second opinions. We have spoken to a number of lawyers. We have, in the course of time, asked ourselves whether we should go forward with this. Because after all, no institution really wants to sue their government. But we came to the point where, since the government refused to do anything, and since the situation involving all the billions of dollars has been unaccounted for from the scheme just kept going from bad to worse, we decided that we had to move forward with this.
The case is being led by Senior Counsel and former Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago, Anand Ramlogan, who describes it as a groundbreaking, historic, and landmark case in the public interest. To facilitate his participation in this matter, Senior Counsel Ramlogan was called to the bar in Dominica on September 24, 2024. On that same day, Mr. Ramlogan gave details of the case at a press conference organized by the UWP.
We've been asked to assist with this groundbreaking, historic and landmark case in the public interest. The Citizenship by Investment program has generated significant monies that are meant to be spent for the benefit of the public in Dominica. The cardinal principles upon which a constitutional democracy is based includes 1, public accountability, 2, transparency in public life, and 3, good public administration. With all those hallmark principles being observed, then you do not have a democracy. This program, from what we have seen thus far, is surrounded by mystery and obscurity. And it seems to be that the motto is less known, less said, less questions asked, and the better off we will be. So we have taken a look at it. We think that we see this as a case that is important for the region, the Caribbean region as a whole, because it will establish some significant constitutional boundaries as it relates to the government's duty to account to the people, to the Parliament. We intend to ask the court to disclose, ask the government to disclose a copy of the agreement for the program and between the government and its agents. We intend to ask to see the terms and conditions of that contract, because there have been public admissions and statements about fraudulent practices within that program. And the question arises, well, what action and consequence has followed as a result of that disclosure? In addition to that, the case is constructed based on the Dominican Constitution, on the principle that all monies and revenues earned by the government is meant to be paid into the consolidated fund, which is subject to parliamentary scrutiny and approval for any form of expenditure. Here, significant funds are not reaching the consolidated fund, but is being spent pursuant to other types of arrangements that is outwith the constitutional framework which governs public expenditure and accountability to the people through their elected representatives in the parliament. So that is, in short compass, that is what the case is about.
Legal basis and objectives. The lawsuit is grounded in the Dominican Constitution, which stipulates that all government revenues should go into the consolidated fund. The UWP claims that significant funds from the CBI program are not reaching this fund and are being spent without proper oversight and outside of constitutional justification. UWP Deputy Leader, Attorney Ronald Charles, also emphasized that the case does not intend to end the CBI program. Instead, it focuses on ensuring justice, integrity, and adherence to constitutional rules and regulations. Government response. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit has vigorously defended the CBI program. Speaking at a press conference on September 30, 2024, Mr. Skerrit described the program as robust and very transparent. He highlighted its importance in funding critical initiatives like the National Employment Program, providing support during natural disasters, and employing hundreds of Dominicans and benefiting households across the country. Skerrit warned that shutting down the program could lead to dislocation in Dominica and expressed concern about the opposition's consistent criticism of the CBI.
Now, let me make it very clear. We run a very robust and very transparent CBI program. This program has helped the country in times of natural disasters and in terms of ordinary times. Since I became Prime Minister of the country, we took a deliberate decision that the CBI funds will not be used for recurrent expenditure, because we never wanted to rely on it as our source of recurrent expenditure. And we decided that those funds will be used for infrastructure, government investment, and also the paying down on expensive debt or national debt. And we've been remaining true to this. We only started using the CBI funds after the hurricane. Revenue dropped, no tax revenue coming in, you have to rebuild, and we started using some of those funds for recurrent expenditure, and also during COVID time, when everybody stayed home, both in the public and private sector, the government had to pay the salaries of all public officers, and the government also supported many private sector entities in paying the salaries of officers or public or their workers, because we want to ensure that in difficult times the dignity of the human being is assured and maintained, that people can take home a pay and pay their mortgages and to take care of their families. And we maintain this. And of course, during the hurricane, after the hurricane, we used the 90% of the funds that we used came from the CBI funds to provide roofs on people's homes, provide food that we purchase, to clean up the massive destruction and debris which existed. Monies we used for small business support, for agriculture, for hotel industry, for agro-processing and manufacturing, 2% and 1% loans at the aid bank, and in many cases grants. Since the establishment of the small business unit, we've given in excess of $67 million by way of grants to small business owners across Dominica. And this is monies we use also to pay for students studying overseas. These monies that we use for building roads and bridges and hospitals and health centers. And of course, the housing revolution, the complete relocation of Petit Savan and Bubic, and of course, in the Joe Burton area and several housing interventions that we've had in Grand Foy, in Laplin, in Dalis, in Portsmouth, in the Cottage constituency in Lago Portsmouth, and Cotton Hill, Georgetown, and you can name every single community in Dominica. Every single person has been touched by the program.
Skerrit warned that shutting down the program could lead to dislocation in Dominica and expressed concern about the opposition's consistent criticism of the CBI. Transparency and accountability concerns. However, the Caribbean Investigative Journalism Network has found that transparency and accountability are lacking in Dominica's CBI program. Key issues include limited public access to information about passport issuance, a lack of disclosure about the original nationality of CBI participants, and insufficient public accounting of funds raised through the real estate investment option. Potential implications for Dominica. This legal challenge could have significant implications for Dominica's CBI program and economy. It may lead to increased scrutiny and potential reforms of the CBI program. There could be economic repercussions if the program is disrupted, and the case might set a precedent for similar challenges in the other Caribbean nations with CBI programs. As this legal battle unfolds, it will likely continue to be a contentious issue in Dominican politics and could potentially reshape the country's approach to its CBI program. Similar regional legal challenges. The legal challenge against Dominica's Citizenship by Investment program is part of a broader trend of increased scrutiny and opposition to such programs across the Caribbean region. This case shares similarities with recent developments in other Caribbean nations. In St. Lucia, opposition leader Alan Chastanet recently announced plans to sue the government over its CBI program. This mirrors the action taken by the United Workers' Party in Dominica, possibly indicating a growing regional trend of opposition parties challenging the transparency and management of CBI programs. While specific legal action hasn't been reported in St. Kitts and Nevis, the country's CBI program has faced increased scrutiny. In 2023, the government announced significant reforms to its CBI program, including enhanced due diligence processes and increased transparency measures. These changes were likely influenced by similar concerns raised in other Caribbean nations regarding program integrity and international reputation.
That is why I said from the beginning that the CBI program will be most challenging for me and most challenging for this administration. I guess with all the things coming out, people are now appreciating to some extent why I would have made a statement like that. You know, we made all these changes. Just recently we're going to make it a statutory body, and we are hoping to complete the exercise within the next few weeks and to have our investment summit in July 10th to 14th, where we can say, okay, this is our rebranded CBI program, ready to go forward. Whatever perceived issues there were, we have left those in the past.
And although Jamaica does not have a CBI program, the country is experiencing its own political controversy related to financial transparency. Currently, there are ongoing investigations into the financial affairs of Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness.
My personal financial affairs from 2018 to 2023 was examined. After this most thorough interrogation of my personal affairs, which is not in any way connected to public funds or a benefit resulting from my office, they were unable to conclude regarding illicit enrichment. Nonetheless, they concluded that in one of the 5 years they examined, 2022, there was unexplained growth in my net worth of 1.9 million Jamaican dollars, or less than 1% of my total net assets. I reject this finding based on materiality and significance.
While not directly related to CBI programs, this investigation highlights the broader regional focus on government accountability and financial transparency. Conclusion. These developments across multiple Caribbean nations suggest a growing trend of using legal means to challenge government practices, particularly in relation to financial matters. This could result in increased pressure for transparency and accountability in government financial dealings, both with regards to CBI programs and other financial matters. It also suggests a likely shift in regional economic development strategies, with CBI programs facing more stringent oversight and potential reforms. The legal action in Dominica, along with investigative initiatives in other Caribbean countries, may lead to significant changes in how CBI programs are managed and regulated across the region. This reflects a broader push for more transparency in government operations, and could have far-reaching implications for political and economic development across the region. Thanks for staying on to the end of the video. But what are your thoughts on the current legal challenges in Dominica, as well as the other countries named? Do you think the Dominica case could be thrown out on a legal technicality, or will both parties have their day in court? Drop us a comment below, and let's start a discussion. Also, remember to like and share this video and subscribe to our channel for further developments on this and other interesting issues. See you in the next video?